students, I am Suruchi Rawat. I am primary teacher in Demonstration Multipurpose School, RI Bhopal. Dear children, today I am going to share about the life of a brave girl named Helen Keller. Helen Keller was born healthy, but later, due to illness, she lost her eyesight. She was unable to hear and see. She was very brave, intelligent, and hardworking. And so, when her teacher, Professor Anne Sullivan, came to her life as her teacher, she quickly learned to form letters in correct order. Anne began her task of teaching Helen by moving fingers on child's hand and letting the things to be touched by Helen to understand meaning of that word by spelling DOLL, that means doll, on the child's hand. She hoped to teach her to connect objects with letters. Her teacher let her feel the things like water, that is wet. Similarly, she touched the flower and found out that flower is soft. Leaf. She also recognized leaf by its shape. So, Helen could understand this way that word is the most important thing in the world. Helen quickly proceeded to master the alphabets under the guidance of her teacher, Professor Sullivan, both manual and in raised print for blind readers, and gained facility in reading and writing. Do you know, children, in spite of her blindness, she wrote many books like The Story of My Life, Optimism, The Song of the Stone Wall, and many more. So, children, from the life of Helen Keller, we learn that we should never give up. Whatever problem comes in our life, we should never give up and keep on doing the hard work. Also, from the life of Helen Keller, we learn that for feeling the thing, it is not necessary that we have to see the thing. We can also feel it by touching. So, dear children, our topic is from the EVS book of class 4, chapter 13, Sharing Our Feelings. In this chapter, a girl named Seema is narrating her story. She is talking about her family. Seema shares all her news when she comes back from the school with two persons. Dear children, when you reach home from your school, you are also eager to share your experiences of the day in the school with your parents or brother or sister or grandparents. Similarly, Seema shares all her news with the two persons in the family. One was her Nani. She is quite old and has back pain. She cannot see or hear well due to old age. Like if you have your grandparents in your home, you can understand that grandparents cannot chew the hard things. They are not able to run and move so quickly as you can do. Every morning, Seema's father reads newspaper for her. She does the rest of the work by herself. If somebody tries to help Seema's Nani, she gets upset. So, she does all her work by herself. She likes to cut vegetables. The second person with whom Seema shares all the news is Ravi Bhaiya. Children, as you can see in the picture, Ravi Bhaiya is wearing black glasses and reading a book by touching the fingers. He is always ready to answer the questions. So Seema also solve her queries by asking questions from Ravi Bhaiya. Ravi Bhaiya teaches in a college. While moving around in the house, no one can say that he cannot see. He likes to do all his work by himself. If someone tries to help him against his wish, he gets angry. Some of Bhaiya's students take books from him and later on return them after recording on tapes. Ravi Bhaiya listens to these pages as Ravi Bhaiya is unable to see, so his students record the content of the book in tapes and later on Ravi Bhaiya listens to them and understand the content. Bhaiya has many other books too. This shows that Ravi Bhaiya is fond of reading and studying. The pages of these books are thick and have rows of raised points or dots. He reads by running his finger on raised dots. Seema is his favorite sister, and that's why he loves Seema and always dare to solve her queries. Bhaiya recognizes not only Seema but all the other members of the family by the sound they make as they move. He can even tell whether Seema is happy or sad. Bhaiya carries a white stick when he goes out. As you can see in the picture, besides book and wearing black glasses, Bhaiya has also kept a white stick with him. So, Ravi Bhaiya carries a white stick when he goes out. Dear children, as I have told you, Seema's father reads newspaper for her Nani. How do you help the old people in your home? Do you help them in doing their daily task? Children, I hope you bring water for your grandparents, you serve food to them and help them in the best possible manner. What kind of problem do the people face in old age? Do you know? They have their senses not so well as the young and the kids have. So, it's our duty to help the old people in our house. How does Ravi Bhaiya come to know so many things without saying? Dear children, can you recognize any of your friend or family member without saying? Have you ever needed a stick like Ravi Bhaiya uses a stick whenever he moves out? Have you ever needed a stick? And if yes, then when? When do you need a stick? Find about this and think about the answer of this question. How do we help those people who cannot see? There are many ways we can help the people who cannot see. Children, think about this and try your best to help the people, the old people and the people who cannot see. Children, you can play a game named blindfold. In this game, what will you do? You will take a box in which tell your father or mother or any of your family member to keep a few things. Then close your eyes and pick the things one by one. You are not allowed to open your eyes. Just pick out one thing and by touching, identify or recognize what is that thing. Dear children, if the thing picked by you, it is round in shape and hard and or soft, whatever you feel, you will come to know that it is a ball, or if you will smell this thing, you will come to know that it might be an orange. Similarly, there may be many things you can recognize like a comb, a brush, even the vegetables like bitter gourd. You can feel by touch or smell. Now children, let's listen to the sounds and guess their names. See, I am playing first sound. It is the sound of cat. Now I am playing the next sound. Yes children, this is the sound of ambulance. Now guess the next sound. It is the sound of tabla. Children, let's have the other sound. It is the sound of horse. And now, another animal sound. Yes, it is the croaking of frog. Now the last sound. Whose sound is this? It is the sound of train. So children, through this game, we can understand that by hearing the sound also, we can recognize the things. Now, think of the answer. Which people can you identify by the sound they make as they move? You think about the people whom you can recognize without seeing, only by the sound they make. Dear children, there is a special way of reading and writing for the people who cannot see. It is called Braille. It is written on a thick paper by making a row of raised points or dots with a pointed tool. Braille is read by running the fingers on the raised dots. Now, let us see whether it is difficult or easy to recognize a shape by touching it without seeing it. Take a sheet of sandpaper and make a shape on it by pressing a wool or a thick thread. Ask your friend to close his or her eyes and identify the shape by running finger on it. Dear children, it will be like this. When you will press a wool or a thick thread on a sandpaper, it will look like this. As you can see, there are two shapes in this slide. First one is triangle and second one is circle. So, ask your friend after closing the eyes to recognize the shape by moving the fingers on this shape. And I am sure he or she will identify the shape by touching. Similarly, we can also paste the paper cuttings, thick paper cuttings on a sheet. As you can see, these are the paper cuttings pasted on a sheet of balloon, a diamond, a circle, a rectangle, a kite and a triangle. This way you can paste different shapes on a sheet, and then after closing your eyes, you can recognize the shape by touching these figures. Dear children, we have seen that Ravi Bhaiya reads special types of books. Do you know how were these books made and who first thought of these books? Let's find about it. The Braille script was invented by Louis Braille. Louis Braille belonged to France. One day, when he was 3 years old, he was playing with his father's tools. Suddenly, a pointed tool hurt his eyes. He lost his eyesight. He had keen interest in studies. Like Helen Keller, he was also determined to study hard and to make progress in his life. So, he did not give up. He kept thinking of different ways to read and write, and finally he found a way. He found the way of reading by touching and feeling. This way of reading later came to be known as the Braille script after the name of Louis Braille. In this type of script, a row of raised dots are made on a thick paper. Because these dots are raised, they can be read by running the fingers on them. So children, Braille script is based on 6 points. As you can see in the slide, these 6 points are numbered from 1 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And different sets of dots are rows to make different alphabets or punctuation or digits. This has made the reading and writing simpler for the people who cannot see. In this slide, you can see A alphabet is made by raising the first dot. Number 1 dot is raised for alphabet A. For alphabet B, number 1 and 2 dots are raised. So, 2 dots, first one and second one are raised for alphabet B. For alphabet C, upper two dots, that means number 1 and 4 are raised. This way, from A to Z, different sets of dots are raised, and this way alphabets and hence words are written in the book for especially abled person who cannot see. So children, we read in this lesson about the Helen Keller, about Ravi Bhaiya who cannot see but still they did not give up. I also told you about the game named blindfold, in which you will close your eyes and try to recognize the things by touching or by the smell. Also, we heard the sound of few things or animals and tried to recognize them by their sound. Dear children, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.